So I'm in my ServiceNow developer environment, and you can start building here and go to the app building studio. But over here, there is some information about the instance. And you see here that you can manage your instance password. Now, if you go in here, you'll find the creator name and the password for the instance that you're going to connect to. And you need that to be able to connect. So let's go into our connectors. We'll do connections here. We'll set up a new connection and we'll click ServiceNow. Then it has to fill in your instance. So we'll get the instance URL. I'll copy that and paste it in here. We'll get the username, which is the one that's over here. Of course, it's a production environment. There would be something different, but we can get it like this. We'll copy the password as well, and then click create. So now it's adding the connection. And voila, now we have a ServiceNow connection to our development environment. Now that we got it connected, let's make an app that can actually utilize this data. And to do that, I've created a time off example app. This is just from in the App Engine Studio. I've created a time off app, which is one of the template that comes out of the box. If you click create an app, and then you can create any type of app, but I did it just from based on a template, and so you can create these apps here. And the time off app is really simple. It has a couple of experiences or the portals here with some workspaces and default views, has some business logic and some security with some roles. And it also has a data table, which we're going to primarily work with. And I've created, I'll just show you. So from the portal here, I've created two entries. One is ask for PTO, and the other one is need some peace of mind. And these are two, you see that they are from this date to this date. And then you can see what the duration is and so on. So there's a couple of things in there. And we'll make a similar app inside of Power Apps. So let's go in and go into Power Apps, and we'll create a new app from blank, create a Canvas app. We'll do a phone app so we can have it on our phones, and we'll call it ServiceNow Time Off Requests. Okay, so once you're in Power Apps, we have to connect to the data source. We'll go in here and click ServiceNow, choose this connector and choose the instance that we want to connect to. And voila, now we have it in here. So the first thing is we need to get data from the table that we have. So we'll make a button called Get Data. And so when we retrieve the data, we'll show that in a data table, like so. And we'll connect this to the time off requests that we have. And we'll do a field. And you see here, there's only one value. And so it doesn't really parse it out that well. It should have been multiple fields. But we can move around that. So when it does have the value in here, instead of having just a dot value, let's go in and call it dot value. And then we can use the field names here. So let's do the start and end date, right? So we'll put a start and end date in the same format that it was in the app. Let's do start date. And then when we get the data here, you see that we get the start date. And we'll do start date. And then it said to, forget these ampersands, from this date to this item dot value dot end date. So now we have the two different requests that we have in here. So let's just make an app where we change the request reason, right? If you just wanted to update that. So we'll insert a text input. We'll have it here. And this should be the reason. But instead of default here, we'll do the default that is selected from this list from requests. So we'll do data table 1 dot selected. So the one that is selected in that list. And let's get the request, yeah, time off reason. That's the field name. Time off reason. And so this says PTO2. This one says need some peace of mind. So if we wanted to change this now and update this field, let's do a button that kind of sends that off and updates the data source inside of ServiceNow. And we'll do update. So when you enter this and you change that, we should do ServiceNow dot update record. And the table type that we want is, of course, the table that's in here as well. We'll just copy that here from now. It's a static value that we put in. It could be a dynamic one, or you could put it in as an app function there. Now, the sys-ID. The sys-ID is the record ID. So there's a GUID that's been created for all the records that are created inside of ServiceNow. And the GUID has a service ID, and we can get it from this record as well. So let's do, and I'll show you. Let me just show you that from a text table. And it should be data table.1 selected, and the value from that, and there's a sys_ID that gives you this GUID. And so you want to have that in there as sort of like the record you want to update. And then the body of it has to be a JSON. So you have to put in a parse JSON, and in here we'll put the response that we're going to send off. Let's say personal time off. And once that is sent, we should have an updated there. And if you go back to the app, it says PTO2 right now. Let's update it. And now it should say personal time off. And that's it. This is how we can use ServiceNow connectors inside of Power Apps, just inside of Power Apps. Of course, there's possibilities to use Power Automate to automate some of these processes, and it is a bit better in regards to the simplicity of it. Inside of Power Apps, you have to be very distinct and direct with what actually you're putting into the naming of it, and you have to be a bit more diligent, but it does work, and I did want to show you that. So thank you so much for watching the video. Do like and subscribe, and yeah, make it easy and take care.